Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. I am Van, and we are all the LFR family. Thank you so much for pulling up and clicking the play button. Hopefully, you hit that like button as well. For the only price of admission is to hit that like button. And if you're feeling extra generous, please do me a favor and share this bad boy on any social media platform. That would be dope. Reddit, LinkedIn, Facebook groups, X, you name it. And if you share or quote or repost my videos on X, and you're already following me, I plan on following you back. That's something that I've been doing for the last few months actually, and it's been working well. It's been connecting me with new people over there on X, and it's been growing my base a little bit. Before I move forward, I want to give a huge thank you to Dirty Irish Blades. Dirty Irish Blades. Shout out to Dirty Irish Blades, man. Um, I did not know. Well, first of all, someone sent me this in the mail. Someone made this for me. Handmade this, handcrafted this blade for me. This is actual metal. It's made out of pure copper. Well, no, it's not. It's made out of carbon steel. It's made out of carbon steel. Check this out, guys. Look what it says on the blade. Can you see it? Dang it. The lighting won't let me see it. Okay, there you go. You see it? LFR family. They put LFR family in the blade. And this bad boy is sharp. Sharp. Man, look at it. They did a daggone good job. Awesome job, man. So shout out to Dirty Irish Blades. Yeah, Bladesmith. Thank you so much for this. They make custom made blades. They made this for me. This you know what I mean? This thing is nice. It's nice, bro. It's so daggone nice. It's so nice. Yeah. So shout out to you guys for just being awesome. They sent it to me in my PO box, and I'm appreciative. Please let me know one thing that you're grateful for inside the comments. That would be dope. And shout out to all of you guys on every single platform. I pray that well, I'm not only you, but every family that's represented here today. I pray that you're fine. I pray that you're fine. Just gonna let y'all know I've been going through somewhat of a dark time as of late. Been dealing with some things, and I was in a meeting with a client yesterday, and this client of mine said, "You know what, Van? Let's just stop right now and let me pray over you right quick." And I'm telling you, it was so powerful, man. It was just one of the things to snap me back into reality. Just let me know that, yo, you get on your platform every single day and you talk about the goodness of God. You talk about blessings. You talk about His grace and His mercy, and so forth and so on. Not saying that you don't believe it, but you need to move as if you believe it. You need to stop with the woe is me and stop feeling sad and being down on yourself for things not working the way that they once did. And yeah, I was really down, man. So I'm not afraid to admit that God is good. I'm human just like anybody else. But I've been in a state lately that's not conducive to the more, the funny and excitable type of person that I usually am. So yeah, hold on one second. Where are my people? Pull up. Shout out to people on Kick who are pulling up. Shout out to my new followers on Kick and Twitch. Shout out to you guys, man. Thank you so much for being a part of what we got going on over here. What's going on, Louis B. Fishing? Renee Suzanne B. What's up? Hey, Katarina. Katarina was the first one in the building today. What's going on, Katarina? Shout out to Katarina, man. And Critical Thinking Triad, Tijuana Border Jumper, Queen B's Art. What's going on, Brandy? Shout out to Brandy. Yeah. Who else we got up in here that I did not acknowledge yet? I think is that it so far? If I missed you, I apologize. All right, charge to my mind, not my heart. All right, let's go and jump into it. All right, so a lot of you already know that I am a DC native, born and raised in Washington D.C., Southeast D.C. Went to some phenomenal schools. Grew up on Third Street and Livingston Road, Southeast. Went to Friendship Educational Center, which turned into Patricia Roberts Harris Education Center. I went there for 10 years, from kindergarten all the way to ninth grade. It was like any other hood movie you'll ever see. It was just like any other hood movie you'd ever witness. Then I went to Ballou High School, which was on 4th Street Southeast off of 4th and MLK Avenue. Again, one of the worst schools, not one of the worst schools. It was a phenomenal school, phenomenal teachers, great band, great male chorus. Like, there's a whole bunch of talent from that area and everything. But as far as the crime and the violence and everything, it was up there, like top 10 and probably top 5 during that time in Washington, D.C. Saying all that to say this, and I'm not trying to qualify myself. I'm just letting you know that I'm familiar with this area, and I still live in this area, and I still shop in this area. And we have family all over Washington, D.C. All 80% of my family are in D.C. Are from DC. The other part are from Philadelphia. So yeah. But to hear what's going on around the city right now, and to see everybody up at arms about what Trump is doing, I have to speak up on it as well. I put out a video yesterday on on Instagram first. And when you put out a video on Instagram, it automatically posts on Threads. Just so you guys know, Instagram is they're left leaning. But a lot of the people who follow me is a balance. It's a balance. No, it's not. It's more conservatives than it is liberals. A lot of people left my page once they saw that I voted for Trump. But it's all good. But Instagram automatically posts your videos on Threads. My Threads audience is far left. I don't know how in the heck that happened, but they're very left. And whenever my videos go from Instagram to Threads, people tear me up, bro. They talk about how I'm a daggone monkey and all that stuff. I can't believe you voted for Trump, and you should be kicked off the internet and all those things. And just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, here's a video that I posted on the internet that is gaining some legs, and I would like to show it to you guys. But y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments, man. Answer the poll, and don't forget to hit the like button. This will not be a short live stream. This will be one of my longer ones. So we're going to have a good time. And when people come in, you let them know where they are, man. Show them some love. Let them know that they with the LFR family, and we about to do something great. Also, one other thing. Shout out to everybody who has been reaching out to me with the word coach for this whole YouTube content creation thing. I do realize that most of you do not want to do content creation, and you're probably tired of me asking you about it, saying, Van, yo, I don't want to do it. I'm a little too old. I'm a little up there in age. I'm not technologically savvy, all these other things. And I just want you to know this. I'm not trying to convince anybody to do content creation at all. But I'm letting you know that if you do want to do content creation and you're trying to figure it out yourself, that is the long way to do it. You know somebody, you know a guy who does it on a daily basis, and I actually help people do it on a daily basis as well. So if you want a little bit of a jolt in your content creation career, reach out to me. It will benefit you. All right, so check this out, guys. This is a video that I posted. I want to share with you all. Y'all let me know what y'all want me to know in the comments, and I want y'all to be brutally honest and let me know how y'all feel about it. If it's, just let me know what y'all think. Thanks again, guys, for pulling up. Man, y'all heard about what Trump doing in D.C.? Wow. And I voted for the nigga. And I'm from D.C. Still live in Maryland. All I gotta say to y'all youngins out there, man, just wait a little bit longer before you go kill a nigga. All right? Don't go outside at certain times of night smoking your weed and stuff in public. Wait until things die down a little bit.
Don't be robbing people all willy-nilly while Trump got all of the DEA and the National Guard and the police, the DC police and the park police and everybody looking for you. Wait a little bit to commit your crime. It's messed up what he doing, man. He's stopping people from committing crime, bro. Let them commit their crime, man. Why Trump stopping people from committing their crime, man?
Now
Man,
when
y'all heard about what
now
Trump
when I
did?
posted this, I was being sarcastic, and most people who seen it, they knew I was being. Most people who know me knew I was being sarcastic, but there's a bunch of people all over the internet that did not know I was being sarcastic. They're like, "Bro, why are you supporting crime? Why are you telling these youngers to go commit crime? Why are you taking this as a joke? You from DC and you voted for Trump? I cannot believe you." And I'm like, "Yo, you can't win for losing sometimes. It is what it is. But this is my personality. This is how I am." And I meant everything I said too. Although I was being sarcastic, I meant everything I said. If you are a criminal and you see that there's a whole bunch of daggone police officers all over the place now, National Guard, park police, regular DC police, you know what I mean? And you name it, they're out in the block not allowing you to commit your crime. Then you got to wait now. You got to put your crime on the shelf and you got to wait until the smoke clears before you go out there and rob another person. But in all actuality, this is necessary, man. Like, they can show you numbers saying that crime has gone down, but crime was already extremely high and crime is still happening a lot. We just now saw what happened to Big Balls, right? Big Balls just now got his ass beat for trying to take up for a lady who was being accosted by some criminals as well, right? I mean, they tried to beat the heck out of him. This is happening over and over and over again. Another guy tried to stop a woman from being robbed. This dude ended up being shot right then and there. Ended up being shot. Last year, it was somebody that worked for it. He was a politician or something like that. And this dude was just walking. He was just outside walking and somebody just started attacking him for no reason and ended up killing him right there on the sidewalk, like stabbing him or something. Like, come on, bro. It's a whole bunch of stuff happening, but just to support their side so that Trump looks bad, they will say that there's no reason for it and is only going after black people and all this other stuff. And I call cap on that. I call cap. Here's somebody on CNN right here who is saying that it's the left who are providing facts and it's the right who are ignoring their facts. And if you haven't seen this yet, I have to show it to you guys. Make sure y'all hit that like button if you haven't already. And if I put a sour taste in your mouth with that video, express that inside the comments. That would be dope. All right. Thanks again for pulling up to the Morning Vantage, episode number 82.
Yeah, I think a few things can be true. One is that I think he's using this issue to distract for some other things. That doesn't mean it's a bad political strategy. I think it's a very good one. And the numbers can be what they are, but also people don't feel that way. And when it comes to two things, crime and the economy, feelings don't really care about your facts. And I can't tell you how profoundly stupid it is for Democrats to get up with their facts and their figures and their charts and their graphs and say, look, you're safe. Can't you read this chart, idiots? Why are you complaining? I'm showing you right here how safe you are, so shut up and move along. I don't have to tell you how profoundly stupid that is because voters told you how profoundly stupid that was in 2024 when Democrats said, see these economic numbers? The economy's great. What are you complaining about? See these crime numbers? Crime's down. You're safe. See these immigration numbers? Obama deported way more. There's no migrant crisis. I can't tell you enough that politics is perception and the numbers can be right, but you never tell voters they're wrong about how they feel. Congress.
All I'm going to say is this. Anybody can back up what they're saying with some type of numbers. That's why when you go to the court and you're watching a a case get played out, you got the defendant and you got the prosecution, and they both come with their receipts. They come with their facts. They come with their points of view. You cannot say, look at these numbers, look at these charts. Numbers don't lie. We're safe, relax. If people are constantly being robbed and killed for no reason or for a reason in DC, and this is actually happening. This is actually happening. Little girls are going missing daily. There's hundreds of girls missing in Washington, D.C. That's crazy. And D.C. is like this big. D.C. is not that big at all. D.C. is very small. Washington, D.C. is extremely small, man. Really, well, when you compare them to other, big cities, major cities in the United States, it's pretty small. You know what I mean? And, things are happening to people that's not necessarily being reported on a grand scale. That's because mainstream media don't like to share when certain people commit crimes. They don't like to share it. As a matter of fact, they like to hide it. They like to cook the books so that they can get the support that they want. Are we going to sit here and act like this isn't happening? It's ridiculous. Like, you can't possibly sit here and act like people are not getting robbed up Georgetown all the daggone time. Georgetown is where you go if you got a little bit of money. They got all these expensive stores, boutiques and whatnot. And we used to go up there. Well, I used to dream of going up there when I was younger. But we used to drive through there, ride through there. You know what I mean? Back in the day, because I couldn't afford to shop there. And people are still getting robbed up there. The people who live around there, yeah, it's safe to walk most of the time, but it's always safe to do something until it's not. Like, you didn't know that going to the grocery store and getting out of your nice car, that walking into the grocery store, that you was going to be stopped and accosted by somebody and have your bag snatched. You didn't think that by jogging through the park that somebody was going to jump out with a knife and try to take whatever you had or try to grape a young lady. You didn't think that was going to happen, because the only reason why you were out there in the first place is because you assumed it was going to be safe. You didn't hear about anything aggressive happening in that area. So you got out there and you started to enjoy the environment until something happened. Well, a lot of this is happening and is being reported, but is not being broadcast over mainstream media at all, because a lot of times the description of the people committing these crimes are not what mainstream media wants to put out there, because it don't support their narrative. If I'm not making any sense, please correct me. Let me know in the comments, man. But that's just how I feel about things. You know what I mean? And then we have Joy, what's her name? Joy Reid's replacement on MSNBC. And I want y'all to hear what she has to say about this, because she feels like, because she's a black woman, things are a little different in the United States. I mean, well, in DC. And that's the wild part, because then that will lead me to believe that she don't know anybody who's ever been a victim of a violent crime. And most black people know many people who've been victims of violent crimes. And guess what? Most of those violent crimes that we are familiar with, the perpetrator was not white. So I don't know why they continue to play this race card over and over and over again. Y'all let me know what y'all want me to think. Know in the comments.
You don't think more police make streets safer?
No, Joe, I'm a black woman in America. I do not always think that more police make streets safer. When you walk down the streets of Georgetown, you don't see a police officer on every corner, but you don't feel unsafe. So what is it about talking about places like Southeast DC, right? Ward 8, if you will, that people say, well, we need more officers to make us safe. I think we have to rethink what safety means in America.
Now, when I was in DC myself, and I tell y'all this all the time, when I go visit my mother-in-law, she still lives in DC. I'm hop, skipping a jump away from Southeast. She lives in Northeast. And I'm standing there talking to her on her front porch, and right there at the corner store that is visible, that's right there where everybody hangs out. There's a lot of people always hanging out over there. And somebody gets shot right there in the middle of the day. Broad day, somebody gets shot a couple of times. Boom, boom, boom. I don't think they passed away, but they just laid there. All of their friends was just looking at them. The people on the block, it was kids playing and all this other stuff. They started trying to see what was going on, running down there to the scene before the ambulance and the fire department, police even pulled up. It was people all over the place looking. Now they knew who the shooter was. You think they snitched? Ain't nobody snitching. Like, it's like, that's a personal beef. That's what they got going on. I just mind my business. But the fact remains that crime is happening, man. This happens a lot at the same place where my father, well, I call him my father-in-law, but he was not technically my father-in-law, but my father-in-law Carlos, when he passed away, right before he passed away, we went to another funeral up there, and they was telling us about at that same exact location where we were at his funeral, there was a drive-by shooting up there because somebody in the gang or in the crew that was involved in crime ended up being killed by somebody. And then while all of his friends and family were up there showing respects to him at the funeral, rival gang members, and I say gang members haphazardly because we don't really have gangs, so to speak, in DC. We have crews, we have I don't know what they call them nowadays, but it usually runs by street. It usually go by streets, not by color and not by names of the gang or anything like that. It usually goes by a street. And they just pull up and just start shooting people for no reason. And this has been happening a lot in DC. So I don't know why people are trying to play it down as if they don't understand. It's irresponsible, in my opinion, for her to put this narrative out there, knowing the truth. And what Trump is doing right now is coming off as extremely aggressive to certain people, specifically Black DC Washingtonian natives who didn't vote for him and are fed all of their information from social media. But if they were to be honest about crime, they will let you know that, yeah, it's bad out here. But they will also let you know we're not afraid. We're cool. As long as we mind our business and we're not involved in anything, we good. And that's usually how people think about this. Thank you so much, Tijuana Border Jumper, for the super chat. I appreciate it. He says, with my screen name, can you imagine if I tried to be sarcastic about avoiding the border agents to get across? Your heart was in the right place, but it just didn't go over well. Tijuana Border Jumper, you're absolutely right. If you made a joke about the border, they will automatically assume that you were on the wrong side of things. So at the end of the day, man, you're absolutely right. And my heart is usually in the right place. But when it comes to comedy, sometimes my heart is just where it is. I don't know if it's right place or wrong place. I just say whatever is on my mind. Now, if it's sarcastic, it's sarcastic. If it hurts somebody's feelings, it hurts somebody's feelings. I'm not apologizing for it, but at the end of the day, I do realize that half of the country voted for Trump and half of the country did not. And if I speak positively about anything that Trump did, regardless of where my heart is, it's going to offend all the people who don't support him or who believe he's a bad person. And not because of his actions or lack thereof, but because of what they're being reported from social media. I mean, well, from mainstream media. Is not because most people don't even know what the hell he's doing. They don't know anything about his executive orders. They don't know about the actions he's taken. They don't know about his accomplishments, domestic and internationally, all over the world. They don't know anything about that. So at the end of the day, I realized that I'm not talking to a bunch of learned individuals or people who understand the lay of the land. So I don't trip too much. So you're absolutely right. Thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. I know crime somewhat. I was a semi-pro in Key West for a few years. As a male, As a male prostitute, there is some danger if you aren't careful. Jackass whiskey and pinto beans. Are you serious? Because I don't want to laugh at you. I don't want to laugh. I mean, that came off hilarious when you said as the male prostitute part, like that part caught me off guard when you said that. I know crime somewhat. I was a semi-pro in Key West for a few years. You was a semi-pro in committing crime, and I didn't know what to expect. And then you came with, as a male prostitute, there's some danger if you aren't careful. So please excuse me, brother, if that was absolutely insanely hilarious to me. That was funny. That was funny to me. That was funny to me. Thank you so much for the super chat, brother. And I understand what you're saying. All right. So Benny Johnson. Let's talk about Benny Johnson. Benny Johnson went through a situation where his family was, they faced something really bad. Like he said that there was a murder on his front yard. His house was set on fire. He actually showed pictures and videos of it. You know what I mean? This dude is making waves, by the way. I have to say, Benny Johnson has been cooking with grease. Benny Johnson has been cooking with grease, bro. Like, insane. So I cannot find the video that he posted. Hold on one second. I'm gonna find it. Oh yeah, here it is right here. Here it is right here. Well, apparently, let me show y'all this. So apparently, he posted this video right here of his home. He says, my security camera will show you what life was like for a family living in DC. Here's a mass shooting and murder in my front lawn, followed by my house being set on fire with my wife and infant child inside. His house was set on fire with his wife and infant child inside. There was a shooting and murder in his front yard. He said these are regular occurrences for DC residents. I lived just a few blocks from the U.S. Capitol. There were open drug deals and arms deals constantly outside my house. My family was threatened on a near daily basis. Racist epitaphs were hurled at my wife and infant children. Rocks were thrown at us as we walked down the street. We were constantly targeted for being white in a black neighborhood. No one gave us sugar honey iced tea. Judges and cops saw us as the problem. When DC defunded the police, the city turned into a deadly war zone. Every resident was terrorized. DC is a failed state. DC home rule is a mistake. The worst, most entitled racists living off of your tax dollars and desecrating our nation's capital, turning the seat of Western civilization into a daily welfare narco state. Entire neighborhoods need to be cleared out and bulldozed. Check this out right here. This comes from his actual cameras in his home. And if you haven't seen this, man, trigger alert, because wow, this is wow. I don't know if y'all saw that right there, but there's somebody standing on the corner that's shooting, and there's somebody that's in his yard that's shooting as well. So there's actually a shootout in his front yard, and the guy that got hit was went through his bushes. That's nuts, man. That's nuts. And here's the time where his house was set on fire, and the police department are trying to break in there so that they can put the fire out. And they're trying to get his wife and baby out of there before all of that smoke. Yeah, that's absolutely insane, man. That's absolutely insane. So he was actually talking to, what's her name? Caroline Levitt. And I want to show y'all this right here. Make sure y'all hit that like button if y'all haven't already, guys. And thank you again for pulling up to the Morning Vantage episode number 82. Jesus, we are cooking, man. We are cooking. Yeah, check this out. Here's Benny Johnson talking to Caroline Levitt. And yeah, let's get it.
My question to you is this. Nancy Pelosi has attacked the president for deploying the National Guard to the city, saying that it is to cover for his incompetence. Hillary Clinton has also attacked the president for securing the city of Washington, D.C. I'd like to get your response to Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton.
Sure. Well, first of all, Benny, I'm so sorry that happened to you and your family. There have been, unfortunately, far too many victims of crime in this city, and I know the majority of residents in the District of Columbia agree with you. In fact, a new poll from the Washington Post I was reading this morning, this was released in May of 2024, so it's quite funny how many of you in the media agreed with what the president was saying yesterday, but now once the president says it, many of you are disagreeing with him. But this poll released by the Washington Post found that 65% of district residents think crime is an extremely serious or a very serious problem. And this was up from 56% last year. So the concern that you share with so many other residents in the District of Columbia is real. And that's why this president is taking action to address it. To get to the heart of your question, I think it's despicable that Democrats cannot agree that we need more law and order in a city that has been ravaged by violence, crime, murders, property theft. This should be a winning issue for all Americans. I don't understand. It's just anything President Trump does, the Democrats want to disagree with. I think the president would love to work with Democrats on this issue to bring law and order to America's cities, but unfortunately they have failed. And that's why he's taken this historic action to federalize the National Guard. And as you're seeing from last night's numbers, we already have seen success. We are removing violent offenders, we are arresting criminals, and we are removing drugs and firearms off of the streets of the city to make it safer for all of its residents.
And everybody want to look at it as racism. It's racist because it's a black city. What you gonna do next? Go around the country and do nothing but black? You're gonna do a black city tour where you're trying to remove racism and crime. So that's what it's looking like right now. People are honestly, I think people are focusing on the wrong things. They think that Trump is actually doing this because he hates black people. They think that he's just ignoring white crime and just going after black crime. And y'all are like, what in the hell is white crime? What the hell is black crime? Well, there is no difference. There is no difference. It's just in these areas. It's like okay, mom, or your dad come home. You're like, I'm sorry, dad. We'll take care of it. You ain't got to beat us. You ain't got to punish us. We were going to take care of it. Now it's too late now. We went years and years and years without anybody doing anything. Years and years. It's like we only perform when the teacher steps out of class, then we start showing our tail. We start throwing stuff and standing up singing and standing on the tables and acting the whole fool. But then when the teacher comes back in, then we start acting right. That's not going to work now, man. That's not going to work at all anymore. At this point, we got a president that's like, yo, we going to clean this up, come hell or high water. But CNN always got somebody that's completely and totally against that. Like, they don't want to hear none of it. Man, check this out. I don't know if y'all have seen this yet, but Scott Jennings is doing what Scott Jennings do.
A few months ago, I was in Union Station and saw a body hit the floor at the bottom of the escalator in Union Station because there was a murder right in front of me up on the second floor. I was going to get a tie, and I heard the shots and saw the body hit the floor. So I've been listening all day long to people trying to make some argument that Washington, D.C. is a safe place. It's not a safe place. And we can argue about statistics and numbers. There's a police commander right now on suspension because there's some allegation that the statistics have been altered. But we can argue about that all day long. Nobody in their right mind who lives there or visits there on a regular basis would tell you that Washington, D.C. is safe, and everybody who goes there knows it, and everybody who goes there knows it. So is there really going to be a resistance to have any kind of people on the street just looking out? The kid that worked at the White House, when he got jumped by the 10 kids in the street gang, it was only because two cops saw it that he was able to escape.
And we still need the public support. So coming out in such an aggressive manner could actually backfire on us.
That's an interesting point.
I will just point out that the head of the D.C. Police Union, here's a direct quote. We completely agree with the president that crime in the District of Columbia is out of control and something needs to be done with it. So it sounds like to me, among the rank and file, the president has some support from the cops for doing this today in Washington.
No, we do need the support.
No. Hold on. Y'all heard what he just now said. He read an actual quote. And they're trying to act like DC is okay. First of all, I'm gonna let y'all know this. Nowhere is safe. Everywhere is safe until it isn't. That's why we need to move with some vigilance. We need to remain vigilant in everything we do. Everywhere is safe until it isn't. So for us to act as if DC is the most horrid place in the world, it's not. It's a beautiful city. It's nowhere near as nasty as a San Francisco or anywhere in California. Is a beautiful city. Even in the slums is, in my opinion, is a beautiful city. Right? And it's safe until it's not. It's safe until it's not. Unfortunately, I don't know many people who haven't had their car broken into, who haven't been robbed before, who don't know anybody who's been shot and killed. Most of us know somebody that's been shot and killed. Like, I'm talking about everybody, all of my brothers, all of my sisters, all of my family members. We all know somebody personally who has been shot and killed. We also know somebody who has committed that type of crime and are probably in jail right now or free after robbing or shooting somebody or, doing something else. So, like I said before, everywhere is safe until it isn't. As soon as a crime is committed, then it's no longer safe in that area. But is it or isn't it? Like, it's one of them type of things. Like, but the people on the left, they refuse to acknowledge it because it's Trump that's doing it. If it was Biden that did it, they wouldn't have an issue with it. When we was talking about the Biden crime bill, everybody was denying it, acting like, no, he had to do it. If he didn't do this, that, and the other, then crime was horrible and he had to put the crime bill out. And it was the Clinton crime bill, but he just continued it and he made it something else and blah, blah, blah. Because I remember when we was talking about it, we was bringing up the Biden crime bill a lot, from way back in the day. And the Democrats denied it. They didn't want to be tied to it at all, because they thought it was too rough and they was going to lose some leverage with their voters. But as he's saying, that's exactly all they're concerned about. This gentleman that's speaking with with Scott Jennings, all he's saying is, if we're too aggressive, then the voters are going to turn on us. The people are going to turn on us. They're not going to be on our side. I agree with that too. Like, when the police are out there, hopefully they're doing what they're actually arresting criminals. They're not just arresting anybody who's outside with the criminals, because this can go way left very quickly. Very quickly. Just because somebody's outside at 12 o'clock at night don't mean that they're one of the criminals. They're outside at 2 o'clock in the morning don't mean they're one of the criminals. I know a bunch of people that like to hang out because I don't know if y'all know this or not, but DC's nightlife has been it's I don't know. Y'all ever heard of the go-go circuit, go-go bands and the parties and everything that happen in DC? Well, we have parties everywhere around the city, Monday through Sunday. And there's a lot of young people that go to these parties, and they're very late. They start at 10. They end at 3 o'clock. You know what I mean? They end at 2 o'clock. And people are just making their way back home. So it's a lot of these people that y'all see in these videos, they might not even be up to any crime. They might just be outside, having fun with the people that they're friends with who are involved in something that they shouldn't be involved in. So yeah, if they push too hard and make some false arrests on people who are not committing crimes, then yeah, this will come back and bite them in their tail. Hopefully they have some type of guidelines that will lead them to actual criminals and getting them off the street than just anybody who's in the vicinity. That right there will be very messy It will be very messy, and it will come off as if a certain group of individuals are being targeted. And that right there could come and bite all of them in the ass. Because if we're doing this just to make a political point, then we shouldn't be doing it at all. The whole purpose is to make this country safer, right? We already got rid of the illegal immigrants by the millions. And then people started to self-deport by the hundreds of thousands. And now, that's gone. Now we're focusing on the domestic criminals, the people who are from here, who live here, who are actual citizens. Their family were born here. They were born here. So we need to make sure that we don't handle it with kitty gloves, but handle it with some type of tact. And, you know what I mean? If I'm making any sense, I know I'm all over the place, man. I do that sometimes. I just start to ramble and then I'm all over the place, but I'm trying to make a point. Hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down. All right, let's continue.
Today in Washington.
No, we do need the support.
I think what happens to DC police on a rolling basis, I think what happens to cops on the most violent cities in America on a rolling basis is a disgrace as well. I think what the president is responding to today is, what can I do today? DC is the only city I really have control of, so I'm going to try to give them some support. He's getting a note of confidence from the DC police union. I suspect if they did things in other cities, other police unions in those cities would also offer some support. And so what I would simply say is that all you can do is hit the next shot. And the next shot right now, I think for a lot of Americans, is what can be done today to reduce violent crime and to make me feel safer in my neighborhood. I think he's going to get a lot of political support for the idea that the federal government's getting a little more muscular when it comes to cracking down on violent criminals.
Now, this right here is important too. I like what he said. You can only worry about hitting the next shot. He's actually doing something about it. So kudos to him for doing something about it, for actually giving a damn. He gave a damn about the youngins not being able to read on a 4th grade level. So he went after the educational center, like, what's the educational system? Like, what's going on? From the top to the bottom, we need to address it from the top. What's happening? We need to fix this. Why is this not a big problem to you all? How come y'all aren't concerned? And when he does that, it's like, y'all, Trump need to mind his business. What he's doing is going after the teachers. He's not going after the teachers. He's going after the system, trying to figure out why people aren't learning on the level they're supposed to be learning on. Why aren't they prepared for life when they leave high school? Why are we just trying to force feed these universities with ignorant kids who are not able to keep up with the regular children? I mean, with the other children, and actually get a degree. But we want to put them ahead of everybody and give them stipends and loans and grants that we're just rewarding to them because they're from certain areas and because they are black. So it's at the end of the day, who really cares about the people, or who's playing politics? Me, I'm gonna let y'all know this right now. Me, I don't like people who are just playing politics. If you are just playing politics, I'm not on your side. That goes for Trump. That goes for anybody on his team, anybody on the left. If you're just playing politics and you can give a damn about the people and you can give a damn about our country, I'm not with you. I'm not riding with you at all. I will speak up against that every single chance I get. Every single chance I get, I'm speaking up against it. But just so you guys can have a better understanding of what's happened in DC in 2024, them claiming that everything is on the up and up. Here is actual statistics of what's been going on in 2024. In 2024, over 40 people, I believe it was 40. How many people was it? 45 people were unalived in Washington, D.C. and 19 of them were under the age. And 19 of them were underage, I believe, under the age of 18. So I believe, it says all of them are under the age of 19. So here a lot of them right here. I'm not gonna say their names, but here a lot of their faces. You even got this baby girl that's 3 years old. Come on, man. 3 years old, 14 years old, 15-year-old, 19-year-old, 19, 18, 16, 15. Like girls, babies, they're not even involved. Here's some more. Another 3-year-old. Like at some point, you're going to want someone to do something. You want somebody to take some action. And the fact that you don't want anyone to take any action, that says a lot about the residents, man. Do y'all really care about the people? Because at this point, it kind of feel like the people are the ones playing politics. They're like, we got that white man in office who we didn't vote for. We never wanted him anyway. Man, here's an actual brother who's downtown in DC. And this video right here went viral. I'm going to show y'all this right here. He's 4 what's going on. And shout out to Dwayne. I'm going to play this in a minute. But let me go ahead and read these super chizats. And let me see them. Let me see. DC and the other states say crime is down. I say with all the bad illegals getting kicked out, that right there is going to take it down a little. It's going to take it down a lot, actually. So by simply getting the illegals up out of here, the crime is going to be down. Thank you, Hydro Man. Dems are using this to get black votes back. So the race card is the only thing they can think of. Absolutely. The big problem is they are just pushing kids through and not trying to help. I know because I was one of them that was pushed through. Hydro Man 5002. So was I. When I realized that that not only did I have the complexion, but I was in the system. You know, I was adopted at a young age. I was told that as long as I graduate school with the and I don't want to misspeak, either a C average or D average, then I would get a full ride to any university that I picked that was on the list. Any university that I picked that was on the list, I would get a full ride. Not, I still have to pay for room and board, but as far as the education part, completely paid for. And the only thing I had to do was get have a D or C average. And it was absolutely insane. And when I found that out, what do you think I did for the rest of high school? Why would I work super hard to get A's and B's if I know that only thing I need to do is skate by and I can go to college for free and sit right next to somebody else's kid who had to work their asses off to get into that seat? So that right there is a disrespectful part. You know what I mean? And then when I started having children, I really started to understand how they're showing blatant disregard to people who operate off of merit and not off of their race and their color. You know what I mean? So that right there, it triggered a lot in me, and I started to be a little bit more vocal after that. But check this out right here. And thank you so much, Hydra Man, for the super chat, brother. I appreciate you. And let me see what y'all are saying in the chat before I move on, man, because y'all are saying a whole lot. Let me see. Slacking for advancement is what D. Yep. Yeah, that's a sore subject, by the way, DEI. Let me see. And the cold wind blows as the poor little boy plays in the street in the ghetto. All right. Let me see. Van had the same GPA as me. That's only because I wanted to. When I was younger, I got really good grades, man. Really good grades. And I still had somewhat of ADD or non-diagnosed. I wasn't diagnosed, but my guardian said they tried to put me on medication when I was younger because I couldn't sit still and I couldn't just focus on one thing. But I used to be on honor roll like crazy. And then when you go, I was thinking I was going to get skipped in the 3rd grade, but I didn't. My attitude was piss poor. And I was very good in many things, testing and whatnot. Math, I was spot on. I'm still okay in math. But when I went to junior high school, when you get out of elementary school and you go to junior high school, I was in all of the advanced classes, The most difficult English/humanities teacher was my homeroom teacher, was my English teacher, was my humanities teacher, and everything. Most difficult. Shout out to Miss Carroll. And we had Ms. Williams for the other group of extremely intelligent kids that were coming from elementary to middle school. But I was in one of those classes. I was always in the tag program. Very intelligent. It's just that I liked having fun and getting in trouble a little bit more. And that messed up my chances of doing some phenomenal things academically. That's only because I decided. So yeah, when I realized that all I had to do was skate by, imagine somebody with great potential finding out that you don't have to do anything. You can do a tenth. You can put forth a tenth of the effort and still be able to succeed and accomplish a little bit more. I'm like, come on now. Why would any child, especially a smart one, be told that information? So yeah, once I figured that out, I was running. But y'all check this out, man. Let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments, all right?
Man, down the city is quiet as a church mouse, young. I came all the way down Pennsylvania Avenue this morning. So peaceful, young. I don't smell no weed, young. I don't see no homeless people. I mean, I came all the way through the southeast side, all the way down here. You see now I'm at the White House, jump, man. It's quiet, young. It's a shame that it takes somebody to have to sit in your classroom in order for you to be in order, young. Because that's what it feels like, young. You got to be babysitter to do your job, young. Stuff been out of control for years. You got to do better, young. You got to do better, young. And mainly, young, you got the problems. It's us, man. It's always us giving everybody a bad name, young. We'll see how long this lasts, young. How many murders was it last night? How many carjackings was it last night? Talk to me. And y'all keep on posting all these data numbers and things of that nature that y'all see everybody else reposting. The stuff that came from the Metropolitan Police Department and the mayor, young. Let me tell you something, young. Let me tell you something. You can't be that stupid. You can't be, man. Who enters that information to get that data analysis, young? People do. You can enter whatever numbers you want to make whatever report show what, but you can't hide the crime, young. You can't do it. Let me give you something to break it down to you for those that don't understand. I retired from UPS, right? So what they used to do to play with the numbers or whatever, we have mission packages, you'll have drivers over the hours. They'd go in and enter the information and the report would show whatever they needed to show to keep their bonus that week for their bosses not to fire their ass. So stop believing that stuff. And I don't know if you ever had to deal with the DC government, young, but they suck, young. They have got a lot more better now that the officers have did what they had to do and got all of these people out of the government and got rid of the riffraff and things of that nature. People actually do work now. Let me give you this for example, right? You got carry and conceals or whatever that were being issued by the DC separate department that was handling the gun license and the things of that nature. They went from turnaround time for like 4 months, 5 months for you to have to damn get a gun registered in DC and get a carry and conceal to 2 weeks. It used to take you 3 months just to get an appointment to talk to somebody and take your information and your gun down there. Now, you go online right now and they got appointments available tomorrow. How does that happen? What changed? You put some fire under their asses and now they want to do some work.
Not everybody that look like me agree that Trump is doing a bad thing. Just want to put that out there, man. Not everybody that look like me, who are from where I'm from, believe that Trump is doing a bad thing. So I just want to put that out there, man. Jackass, whiskey, pinto, and beans. When I was working in Key West, 10 p.m. to 6 in the morning were my working hours. I had regulars with a few referrals. Referrals were exciting and very dangerous. Jackass, whiskey, and pinto beans. He's speaking as a male escort or a male prostitute. If you don't mind me asking, what made you get into that line of work? Like, what was your life like before then to make you get into that line of work? Like, and I'm not trying to get into your business or anything. You put it out there that you was working on Key West from 10 p.m. to 6 in the morning. And I just want to know what led to that. And you don't have to super chat it. You don't have to super chat it. I'm looking for it. So Pinto whiskey and beans, man. I want to know about that. Yeah. Shout out to Dribble Desk and shout out to all of my members. Everyone that you see that's green inside of the chat, those are my YouTube members, my LFR family members. Shout out to you guys for being a part of our membership. And shout out to people like Renee and Shane and many others, a couple of others who have awarded, like paid for people to become members. And so for that, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, whiskey and beer. This is, and thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. But I would like to know what made you get into that line of work, because that's kind of wild right there, man. That's kind of wild. Oh, absolutely. Shout out to my mods. What's going on, Charlie740? Much love to you as well. Living life loving. What's going on? Yeah. Shout out to all of my blues and all of my greens, man. Let me see here. Yep. Shout out to Brandy. Shane said $20 is $20. Let me see here. We got carry and counsel, but can't use because you use it. You're the bad guy. We got carry and counsel, but can't use it because you're the bad guy. Hey, Hydra Man, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. I appreciate you, my man. Also, shout out to Renee for gifting another 5 LFR family memberships. This is what she does. She helps people out to join our crew. And thank y'all so much for taking advantage of it. Shout out to Annie Oakley and Channel Stuff and America 12U and Diesel Coxwell. Retro Uber Goober. Y'all is something else, man. Retro Uber Goober. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm conflicted when it comes to this politics stuff, man. Like, I don't want to see a whole bunch of military people running through different neighborhoods in Washington, D.C., unless they're going to be, pulling out only riffraff that's destroying the communities. But then we have to realize, too, in these communities, the people that are being pulled out are beloved by their communities. They're loved. I'm talking about thoroughly loved by their communities. Even if they are robbers and killers and in and out of jail, the community don't care. They like, that's our crazy person. At least they only go over to that street and commit crime. They only go over to that part of town and commit crime. They don't do it here. We're safe here. And ain't nobody gonna come around here because we got the craziest criminals around here. Like, that happens all the time. Let's see. I don't think criminals are beloved. JJ, let me tell you something. I'm gonna just tell you this, and I know, and I hear you, but I'm just saying, the people who live in the neighborhoods, they love these criminals, man. They love them, and the criminals love them. They just go outside of their neighborhoods to commit their crime. Well, to commit their heinous crime, because in their community, they're selling drugs and they're doing things that ruin the communities. But their community don't care about that stuff. They don't care about that. As long as you don't get people shot around here, we're fine with you. But they are beloved by their communities. Like I said before, in DC, It's by the streets. It's by the streets. It's not by the crew or the gangs. It's by the streets and the street names and the street blocks, corners. And as long as you live in that neighborhood and you're one of the killers in that neighborhood, people love you. They can't wait to see you. They speaking to you. They know that you are not going to mess with them. You're just going to go mess with somebody else. Trust me on that one. I'm just telling you what I know. Just telling you what I know. See more views. What's up with you, soldier? How old are you? See more views. Can you confirm or deny what I'm talking about, man? And I'm sure this is like this in other big cities around the United States. I'm certain it is. Look. He said last night he went on a very safe walk at 2 a.m. in the morning. Just outside, went on a walk at 2 a.m. in the morning. And y'all already heard what's going on with Nancy Pelosi, because Nancy Pelosi thought it would be a good time to grandstand and bring up the fact that Trump did not bring the National Guards on the scene of the Capitol during Jan 6 because he really didn't care about the people. Now all of a sudden he want to use National Guard to go inside of black and brown communities and tear them apart because he really don't like black people. And she is under fire right now because the then chief of police, Sund, he responded and said, yo, you're a dirty lie, because I made a request on January 3rd for National Guard and your people denied it. Like your sergeant at arms completely denied it. And it came up to where you are and you said, no, I don't want it. And the mayor of DC said the same thing. So she got pointed out big time, and yeah, she's getting destroyed because of it. So shout out to Nancy Pelosi for lying and then facing immediate karma for her lie. Jackass whiskey and pinto beans. He said, I came back from combat in Iraq. I was a medic in the 3ID? Is that 3ID? I got the CMB and was not right in the head. Okay. Meta SSG in Fort Ord, California, who gave me an entree to the scene in Key West. He was not a pimp, but he got a percentage. So he told you that I know of a way that you can make some money. I'm going to send some people your way. All you got to do is this, that, and the third. And, if you make 20, you float me 5. You make 50, you float me 10, something like that. Or you got a 10% or 20%. So you are an actual war vet. That's sad, bro. I mean, I'm not saying woe is you or anything like that, but that's sad, man. You're a war vet. You went to combat in Iraq and you end up, getting a CMB that messed up your head a little bit. And I guess that disabled you a little bit, for you wasn't able to go into the workforce like everyone else. And one of your sergeants out California, he introduced you to the street life, and you took advantage of it because you needed the resources. Wow. First of all, thank you for your service, bro. That's crazy. That's wild. That's wild, man. Okay. Well, thank you for breaking it down to me. I'm gonna let you know I don't know what the 3ID is. I don't know what the CMB is at all. But I will say that SSG in Fort Ord, that was, if was he protecting you too? Because if he was protecting you, then he was a pimp. If he was just sending you referrals, then he was just someone that he was an opportunist. He was making some money on the side, and you had to do the deed. Wow, that's sad, brother. 3rd Infantry Division. Okay. Thank you, Renee. 3rd Infantry. Thank you, Charlie. Wow, thank y'all for y'all, sir. If you served, thank you for your service. I appreciate you. I saw a video of her talking about planning Jan 6. Yeah. A lot of people that, when I posted that, some people was like, bro, have you seen the original video? How do you know that's not AI? They had on masks. How do you know that wasn't somebody else that was talking? Who was recording it? Seems kind of weird that somebody's recording them having a private conversation in their car, or a private conversation, a private meeting in the office, in a private this. So there's a bunch of people out there trying to debunk it and say that the audio was not what we thought it was. What we heard was not the people that we heard. That was someone else. But I think it's true. I think it's true. CMB is Combat Medic Badge. He's seen some stuff. Wow. All right, so let me read this again. I came back from combat in Iraq. I was a medic in the 3rd Infantry Division. I got the combat medic badge and was not right in the head. So you was the medic for a lot of people who was hurt and injured and shot and unalived. So you got a badge for all the work that you was doing, and you lost it. You lost your mind a little bit. And then you met SSG in your area in California, and he introduced you to the game of prostitution. And that was that. Wow. Jesus. It's a crazy story, bro. Jackass Whiskey, it wasn't like that. The staff sergeant was a decent fellow. It was just business. So he was just sending him referrals. He wasn't no pimp. He wasn't standing out there like, you better get out there and give me my money. If I slap you, you better get out there and give me my money. You better give me my bread, Fred. Nah, he wasn't like that. He was just like, if you're going to be out here, let me go ahead and send you some names of people who are doing it. That's wild that he even had names to refer. That's wild that he even had names to refer, man. Somebody just now posted this, and I don't know if it's true. Shout out to Richard Figueroa. He said that there were 0 carjackings in DC last night for the first night in 4 years. So, look, hold on one second. That's not it. This is another one. Let me share this with y'all. Yeah, this brother said that there was absolutely 0. There were 0 carjackings in DC last night for the first night in 4 years. Hold on one second. Let me see this. I'm asking Grok, is it true? How long does it take for Grok to answer? Let me see what else is going on. Oh, yeah. So shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson. I don't know if you guys seen yet, but let's see, Dr. press conference yesterday, big pause. Saw a woman being robbed. And oh Lord, that's what I wanted to play for you guys. Check this out, man. I came across this this morning. Wanted to play this for you.
The Capitol is dangerous. The president simply wants to make it safer. Big balls put up a bat signal, and Trump is responding.
Donald Trump makes himself Batman, and the nation's capital is Gotham City.
Yup, big balls was the straw that broke the camel's back. He tried saving a woman, and he got beaten to a pulp. But his story isn't over.
Given the heroic actions of a member of this administration just a few blocks from this building, will the president consider giving the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Big Balls?
I haven't spoken to him about that, but perhaps it's something he would consider.
It would certainly be an interesting plaque.
Caroline Levitt is a little cutie pie, though. She's married, right? Caroline Levitt? Yeah, she's a little cutie pie, man. She a cutie pie. And Benny Johnson, that dude has taken off, man. He's taken off. Anybody that's in content creation, if you're in streaming or anything like that, and you're talking about politics, that's somebody that you want to model your content creation behind, because this brother, he's on point. I don't know how big his team is, so try not to, you ain't got to match his effort, because he puts out a ton of content on all platforms. But the amount of, it's just his style of putting that content out there. You should probably consider following them. And I like how she said that Trump is modeling himself as Batman and DC is Gotham City. I don't know why they just, bro, it's more serious than that. It's more serious than that. New York is still Gotham City. So let's leave that there. New York will always be Gotham City. DC is not Gotham City. New York is. All right. And then California. In my opinion. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But DC is not Gotham City. And Trump is not trying to be that. So that's just ridiculous. Dr. Umar Johnson. This is the last thing that I'm going to wrap up to y'all about. Apparently, Dr. Umar Johnson is, he's losing a lot of money. The banks have frozen his accounts. The government is levying his properties, including but not limited to the school that he's been building for the last 5-6 years. I want to say 5-6 years. And apparently, since that property is tied to his name, they are selling it. And he just putting this information out there. He's saying that they're doing it against his will. Obviously, they don't need your permission when you owe them a debt, but that's just how the government is. They're gonna get their money. So if y'all haven't seen this, man, check this out.
On August the 5th, the city of Wilmington, Delaware, took out a notice to auction off the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy campus for unpaid vacant property registration fees. I repeat, on August the 5th, the city of Wilmington, Delaware, took out a lien to auction off the campus we bought, the campus we've been working on for 6.5 years. I was not notified of this. We were not notified of this. This past weekend, without an email, this past weekend, without a letter in the mail, this past weekend, without a phone call, the city of Wilmington put a notice on the door handle of both of our schools, informing me that if we don't pay the past due vacant property registration fees and outstanding utilities by the 25th of Black August, they will sell our campus. Brothers and sisters, can I ask you a question? Why were we not notified that they were going to try to sell our campus? Brothers and sisters, why are they trying to sell our campus at the very moment that our accounts are frozen? Brothers and sisters, is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that the city of Wilmington is trying to sell properties that we own and have been working on continuously behind our backs? They were going to sell our schools behind our backs. They didn't even tell us that they were going to try to sell our schools. We received no notice in the mail. We received no notice by email. We received no phone calls at all that they were going to try to sell our schools. Instead, they put a notice on the door handle. Somebody stole one set of notifications and sent it to the YouTubian struggle streamers. Somebody stole the Frederick Douglass High School paperwork off the front door and sent it to the struggle streamers. But luckily for us, Sister Ra Ebony was able to get the paperwork off the Marcus Garvey School before the haters stole that paperwork. I believe, brothers and sisters, and please let me know your opinion. I believe, brothers and sisters, and please let me know your opinion. I believe, brothers and sisters, and please let me know your opinion. I believe that they were going to sell the school, and they wanted to sell the school before we found out. I believe that they wanted to sell the school before we found out. We were not supposed to know that they were going to sell our school. Why do I say that? We were given no notification. We received no letter in the mail. We received no email. We received no phone call that they were going to try to sell our schools. Instead, they put a notice on the door in a low-income neighborhood. They put a notice on the door with rubber band and masking tape. They put a notice on the school front door with a rubber band and masking tape.
Pray for Dr. Umar. Make sure y'all pray for Dr. Umar. And I mean that, man. I mean that. I mean it. And y'all know the reason why his school is being sold and the government are coming after him is because he did not pay what he needed to pay. He didn't pay what he needed to pay. All of the fees that come along with it. But I stand by the fact that we need to pray for Dr. Umar, because I wouldn't want to see this happen to anybody. Anyone. Sometimes life's, and we all know that. Whether he's a grifter, a beggar, a revolutionary, the new leader of the African American community, whatever you want to say, I believe is necessary for us when we see people falling like this and we want to dance on their graves, man. I believe that is not indicative of a God-fearing human being. And that's just me. I know that doesn't sound sexy. I'm sure you would much rather we make fun of him and kick him while he's down. And no, I'm not a huge fan of Dr. Umar. I think he took a liking to African American figures and scholars and revolutionaries at an extremely young age, and he believed and he believes that that's his calling. So he started on this Marxist path where it was not indicative of someone who took full accountability for their actions. And a lot of things have fallen by the wayside. And because of that, he's losing a lot that he was trying to work on for a while. And we all know that as adults, if we don't do things the proper way, the chickens will come home to roost at some point. So I'm not saying that you should agree with them or even empathize with them, but just like anybody, if you can just pray for them, and you ain't got to do it publicly. But I know he don't like white people. I think he actually hate white people. So that would be another reason for you with a heart of God, a heart for the Lord, to pray for somebody that don't look at you in a good light. I believe that that's our responsibility as people who love the Lord, in my opinion. It's unfortunate that he's going through what he's going through, but we all have our lot. Nobody should feel sorry for him. You know, this is your stuff. I got to handle my stuff. You got to handle your stuff. And that's how that goes. So he's about to lose his, let me see, it's the FDMG, something Marcus Garvey Academy, and it's about to be auctioned off. And And it's probably good because now somebody could actually finish what he started and get the school open. If he had the impact that he says he has, and if he had the friendships and relationships that he claims he's been building over the years, and he says that he's a world-renowned representative of the Black community, then there should be people out there with long money that should be able to purchase that school and keep it going for you, in my opinion. I mean, think about it. If Dr. Umar was really who he says he is, shouldn't there be a Jay-Z, a Tyler Perry, a Oprah, or someone out there who think the same way he think about African Americans, who would be like, brother, I see you're going through a bad time. I'm gonna go ahead and fund this as long as you finish what you started. Like when you make good relationships, don't you have people that come out and help you out, people with resources? He has reach. He has reach. Dr. Umar's name is big enough where he can go on somebody's podcast and he can charge them $5,000, $10,000 to just sit on their podcast because his name bringing numbers. Something like Charleston White. When Charleston White goes and sit on a lot of the podcasts he's on, he charges between $5,000, $10,000 per time he sits down. And if you go out there and you look, he has a poop ton of interviews on social media, and he's being paid a lot of money. Also, Dr. Umar, he gets paid to speak at colleges and high schools and elementary schools, middle schools. He get paid to speak at schools all around the world. There's different ways to mitigate what he's going through right now. So hopefully he learns from what he's doing right now, and the God that he doesn't believe in, I pray that the Lord shows himself mighty in his life so that he can understand that the God we serve is real. It's not only a white God that serves slave masters like he teaches, but is a God that loves us all and expects for us to fall every now and again because we were born in sin, shaped in iniquity, and we're going to fall sometimes, especially with our free will. But God is he's a forgiving God. You know what I mean? As long as we put our faith in him, we will be okay. We will be back up on our feet. And I'm just hoping that he see the light, or that he uses his resources. He opens up that Rolodex and he calls some of the powerful Black people in Hollywood who back his ways of doing things. You know, the Spike Lees and Samuel Jacksons and the Denzel Washingtons, and you can go on and on and on. The thing that will shoot you in the foot, though, is that he's been pooping on them for a while. Like they would do some great things in the community, and he would say that they're not because they're not doing it on the same level that he's doing it. I'm the one that's doing it this way. I'm the one doing it that way. They haven't done this, they haven't done this, and they haven't done that. Well, unfortunately, that's a good way to burn some bridges. So, but I believe that anything that we're going through, we can get through. The Lord would take care of it as long as we continue to plead the blood of Jesus over it. And that's my personal opinion. Same thing with what's going on around the country. As long as we continue to pray for our whole country and pray for our people on both sides of the aisle, we will be okay. Okay is subjective. You know what I mean? Okay to somebody is not okay to you. Okay to you is just being able to survive, having something to eat, having your bills taken care of, you know, those type of things, being healthy, having your family healthy, just being okay. But to others, it's like having an extreme level of abundance in their life. That's the only way that they're okay. Like, we gotta have millions in the bank. We gotta have 2-3 cars and 2-3 homes and all this other stuff in order to be all right. So yeah, my relationship gotta be good. My kids gotta be making all this other stuff. So yeah, just continue to pray for them, man. That's what I say. That's what I say. All right, guys. So today, my baby girl, 20-year-old, is getting her blood drawn, and she is still at the age where she is still at the, you know, where she wants her dad to be there beside her when she's getting her blood drawn. For some strange reason, she's always been that way. Whenever she gets her blood drawn, I gotta be there. Not her mother, no one else. I gotta be there. And she came downstairs while I was in a meeting yesterday. Well, right after my meeting, and she asked if I can go with her to get her blood drawn. So that's what I will be doing. So that's why I won't be able to do the 11:30 group call today. But if one of our people inside the content creation group do want to host it, then they will have it. But we are having the 8 p.m. Meeting tonight, Eastern Standard. So y'all can pull up if you're inside the group, or if you're already locked in with the course, you can pull up at 8 p.m. so we can have our group call. In my opinion, the group calls are the best part of the coaching group, in my opinion. You know, the course is cool. Talking to me about different things and getting some keys is cool. But that group, yeah, that's where the stuff is. We got some amazing people up in there. But yeah, so let me go ahead and get this done. Thank y'all so much for being a part of the Morning Vantage, and shout out again to Dirty Irish Blades for making this for me. I don't know if I showed this to you yet, but shout out to Dirty Irish Blades for making this for me. This LFR family right here is etched into the blade. It's actually in the blade, and as you can see, the handle is pretty nice. And here is shout out to them, man. Thank you so much for making this for me. I really appreciate it. I'm going to call them today and thank them as well, because I did not know that I had this inside the it's wild. I should have been known this, but I didn't. Okay. Love y'all, man. All my blues, all my greens. Thank you so much. Everybody who submitted a super chat, thank you so much. And everybody who liked and shared this live stream. Thank you, guys. Y'all continue to take care of yourselves and others. Love you. Give all praise to God for his grace and his mercy. And y'all continue to be good people, okay? See you next time. We have been helping people grow online. It has been absolutely amazing. We have helped many content creators get from zero to monetization in under 30 days. We even have a couple of these superstars who did it in 1 or 2 weeks. If you want to learn how to do YouTube, I don't care your age, I don't care what skills or talents you have. Trust me, I can help you do it effortlessly. Just reach out to me with the word coach and we can get it done. One more thing. We have a YouTube course that I just now created. I'm extremely proud of, and a lot of people are getting so much from. Purchase that course and work with us. You can join our private Facebook group and our daily group calls, which is 3 to 5 days per week, and you can learn so much more than you've ever learned before. I can't wait to hear from you. Love you. Peace.